It's a proto, because he ate a little parsnip.
Yeah. So, they say Hashem is good, and that's what the Alter Rebbe said, that when the Chassidim will come to Gan Eden, they'll have to make them a new Gan Eden. That they'll have to build a whole new Gan Eden for his Talmud, for the Chassidim. Because they say, this is Shiur, this is the Chaprus. What did the Alter Rebbe say? No. What did the Alter Rebbe say? He said, Ik wil mehr nicht als dicha, allein, I want you yourself. So these guys are going to come up in the Gan Eden, and they're going to say, listen man, we want you yourself as Gan Eden. So the Alter Rebbe said they're going to have to build them a new Gan Eden. I think that's mamish. That's never been heard in human history. But the Alter Rebbe said it. He said, it follows that everything now fits in very beautifully. That the Zokain is one in, and you need the Zokain in order to know exactly what to do and how to function. You have to be a Zokain. But ultimately, the main thing is the Boba Yomen. You've got to be the worker for the Eibishter. You're just working to make a deal of a Taktonim. As the old saying, have it in the old English, I just work around here, you know.
Yeah.
I don't really have a great deal what to say or to do. I just work around here. I'm just making a deal of ways both Taktonim. I say make a deal of a Taktonim. He said, okay, so Hanami, nobody's worried about you, but the Eibishter is that ultimately you will make sure that all those Levushim, they'll be handy for you. It's just that the Chassidim are going to say that, they want big stuff, they're not. But that's all, as it were, to use the expression, icing on the cake.
Yeah.
That's like because Hashem is a good father, and that also happens. But ultimately speaking, you're here in the world, Baba. And that's what we find in all the Sikhs of the Rabbi, all the teachings and all the of the Rabbi, you got to be out there and you got to make the world a better place. And you got to encourage other people to do it. You got to go out and do Mitzvahim, and you got to break your head and your bones to make sure that you're doing something in the world, that you're being moisiv, and you're bringing the Oyer Elki into the world, to the final point that the Rebbe said. He took it right to the end, and the Rebbe said, "Listen, if we're building a dir of Taktonim, the ultimate dir of Taktonim is Moshiach. That's the best dir of Taktonim.
Yeah.
Is Moshiach. It's amazing." And he says in Perek Lamed Vav, the Alter Rebbe in Tanya, that the tachlis of the whole Bria is Yemois Mashiach, it's amazing. That's what he said. So the Rebbe said, if that's the tachlis, then let's get moving. And therefore the Rebbe undertook a thing which no other Rebbe and no other great Mani ever undertook. And that is to bring Moshiach Bapoyo. Great leaders of the Jewish people encouraged the idea of Mashiach, spoke about Mashiach. Oh, but the Rebbe said, I'm not talking about Mashiach, I'm bringing Mashiach Bapoyo. Once after the historians from the Rebbetzin, you could see that it wasn't the same by the Rebbe, he sometimes he was missing buttons and everything.
Yeah.
And also the Rebbe grew his hair, he didn't take a haircut. And they say that the Rebbetzin, she used to make sure that the Rebbe would have a haircut. Because he did, so the Rebbe grew his hair very long. So the Chassidim came in, some of the big Zalman Guardia, they went into the Rebbe and they said, we're pleased, we're with all humble humility, and we're not telling the Rebbe what to do. But the Chassidim feel that it would be good if the Rebbe took a haircut. So the Rebbe said, he said, but I'm so busy making Moshiach count that I just haven't got the time. That's what the Rebbe said.
Wow.
And then in the end,
that's the best excuse ever.
Jimmy Guardia, another few weeks later, he said to the Rebbe, what's going to be, you know. And the Rabbi took a haircut. But he said that he's so busy bringing Mashiach B'Poel that he hasn't got time to take it. In other words, it's not an easy job.
It's not.
Not an easy task, but it doesn't. The whole thing is moved to such a point that the dira b'tachtonim, and you're just a worker, means you're working on a very big stakes. You're working for what's never happened in history. You're working to bring Mashiach B'Poel. And nobody's asking you any questions. You're just a worker, you've got to just do the job. You have to learn and you have to be zoking in order to know exactly, what you're doing. And that's what the Beis Yosef is about. He showed you how to do it, how to go about it. But ultimately speaking, you're a worker. And all your mitzvahs are for that purpose. It's just that you also get a good reward. Hashem's a good tata. He's not going to leave you without.
Well, Mashiach now.
Levi, you have to bring Mashiach B'Poel.
Amen.
And that's it. So there were a few questions left unanswered, and so I asked for forgiveness. And at some other point we'll talk about it.
Okay.
And I'll tell you a couple of stories, particularly about that Iskafia one. I'll tell you a few other. So we got a debt, a good debt that Milchim. We got a few things that we got to still tell.
Okay.
Maybe Thursday.
Yeah.